Alright, today's mail call is brought to you by Cherney Ratige, my local gun store. Let's see what I got. I got a Clever Concealment. Got this, most of these cards are for Saskia. I want to tune her up further, make her more interesting, fun to play, shore up some of her weaknesses. Want to add more cards that are repetitive token producers, and you will see a few of those in just a moment. So, Clever Concealment. 2 colorless, white, Convoke. My creatures can help cast this spell. Any number target non-land permanents I control phase out. That's important for Saskia because I don't want to exile my creatures, as with Ghostway, as with Eerie Interlude, because if you exile a token, it doesn't come back. If you phase it out, it'll come back. So this will save my creatures from a board wipe. Aura of Silence. This is so before I went to Astruzna, I pulled Aura of Silence and Sun Titan from Sigarda to give them to Brago. And so I got replacement copies. I ordered them a few days before I went to Astruzna, but of course the order wasn't ready for Brago before I went to Astruzna. So there's her Sigarda's replacement Aura of Silence. Very nice condition. Peregrine Drake, I also got this for Brago. I'm going to take out the Palinchron. Palinchron is 2 more. Peregrine Drake. It costs another 1 colorless, another blue. It's 4, 5, not 2, 3. And it taps 7, not 5 lands. So, this is a lot easier to cast, comes out a lot further. I don't need the bounce back ability. Palinchron, of course, has the ability to colorless blue, put it back in your hand. I don't need that because I plan to blink it. So this is my land and tapper. Fiend Hunter. Why did I get this? I've got some deck. I've got some deck with a Fiend Titan that's flat. I think it's a modern deck. I think one of my modern decks. And when I found the Fiend Hunter for Brago, or maybe this is for Brago, I don't know, it's going somewhere. 1 colorless white for a 1/3 human cleric. When he comes to play, you may exile another creature. Trigger goes on the stack. If you can exile him while that trigger's still on the stack, he's gone. That trigger resolves, exiles another target creature, and then this trigger never triggers. Yeah. Sun Titan. So this is Sigarda's new Sun Titan. Went ahead and got the Sigurd. I've got, 4 copies of the M11 style Sun Titan, 1 copy of the Theros, which I don't like that one so much. There's another version, pre-release version of Sun Titan, that's all spiky and sharp, and he looks kind of like a big idiot with fucking rose bushes growing out of his arms. So I don't like that one at all. This one's cool. I like this one. Grand Crescendo. Okay, this is definitely going to Saskia. White, colorless. Create X 1/1 green and white creature citizen creature tokens, and my creatures become indestructible until end of turn. So it's a way to save my creatures, and it's a way to make more. 2 for 1, baby. 2 for 1. March in the Multitudes. I forget his name. There's this lad.
Hello.
Hello.
What the fuck is that?
March in the Multitudes.
That's weird too.
You're weird. Look, it's got wolves.
Why is magic so weird?
Because it's cool. Because cool people play it. If you were cool, you'd play too.
I just don't like it because it's weird and boring.
Well,
Okay,
if you played it, you'd find out it's not weird and boring. It's just weird.
It is. It's just boring and weird.
Okay, white, and green. Spin X. Convoke. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens lifelink. Like I was saying, I forgot who it is. This lad commented on my Saskia Moxfield deck. He made the comments on Moxfield, and he gave me so many good ideas. He told me about half a dozen cards I had no idea existed, reminded me of a couple more that I knew existed but had forgotten about. So I wish I could give him proper credit, but my computer's off and I don't remember his name. But anyway, if you look at Saskia and Moxfield, if you look at the comments, you can see his name and you can see what he said. So this, if I'm running out of room, I might not put this. But the Convoke, I mean, essentially, I spend 3 and I can double my creatures, because at the end of the opponent preceding me, I can spend green, white, white, tap all my creatures, and double them. So, if that'll be a hard cut if I cut it. Which, it's not in the deck yet, so it's not really a cut. Low Unicorn, 3 and a white for a 3/4 Vigilant Unicorn. Yeah, you told me about this too. I completely didn't know this existed. Beginning combat on your turn. If you control your commander, prevent all combat damage dealt to creatures you control this turn, and other creatures gain vigilance. So he doesn't even have to attack. He just prevents all combat damage. And all I have to do is have my commander. I'm thinking maybe I bought 2. They were cheap. They were like 7 crowns, which is 10 euro cents. Maybe I should put 1 in Aurelia, but since it was cheap and the effect is interesting, I did get 2. Aurelia would be good. Ooh, it's a 3/4. I could put it into Ikushidiki Sidar Kondo. And I've got 2 commanders in that deck because they have partner, so double the odds of having a... I don't know. I'll figure it out. And here we go. Illustrious Wanderglyph. Another random token generator. But it does it every turn, so I'm going to be taking out the Grave Titan. Grave Titan costs 4, black. This costs 4, 1 white, so he comes out easier. He's a 2/2, not a 6/6 Death Touch. And he pumps out a gnome artifact creature token every turn, every upkeep. Everybody's. Bang, 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 bang. Smash, 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 smash. My other artifact creatures get +2/+2 as long as the city's blessing. Frenchie, when I was in Ostruzhna, he had a... what the fuck is their name? The green chick that is the same Tendershoe Dryad. He had a flat Tendershoe Dryad, and he only wanted a couple euros for it, so I bought it. So Saskia is going to get this guy, which is a white Tendershoe Dryad, and she's going to get Tendershoe Dryad, which is a green version of this guy. Why not? The dude I was mentioning also told me about Jetmir. I kind of ignored Streets of Copacabana. I just didn't really care about it. I didn't like the feel, didn't like that 1930s film noir. It just didn't feel like Magic to me, so I didn't get deep into it. Only have a few cards from that set. Well, he was right. He said I should have looked at Jetmir. So what am I looking at? What do I get? 1 green, red, white for 5/4 Kitty Cat Demon. Demonic Pussy. So this Demonic Pussy, creatures you control get +1/+1, have Vigilance as long as you control 3 more creatures. If I have 6 creatures, they get an additional +1/+1 and trample. And if I have 9 creatures, they get another +1/+0 and double strike. So if I have 9 or more creatures, they all get +3/+0, Vigilance, double strike, trample. Yeah, he's right. That'll end the game. Did you know this has 2 sides? It does. Look. See, there's the other side. I don't like that side, though. I mean, he's sicking the dogs on somebody. I don't like it so much. I'm going to play this side because I like that side better. It's just neat. He's just chilling out with the kitty cat while he sends my creatures out to go smash face and beat the shit out of people. So there's that. This one's a lot smaller. Yep. Saskia needs more haste. I'll probably take out Fire Sea Avamaya because it doesn't do anything other than give haste, and I can sacrifice it to give 1 creature +2/+2 until end of turn. I'm going to replace that with Goro Goro or the other haste enabler that I picked up. So 1 in red. I've got one of these in Aurelia, but the original version. So 1 in red for 2/2 Goblin Samurai. 1 red, creatures you control get haste until end of turn. 3 double red, create a 5/5 red dragon spirit creature token, the flying. Only if you control an attacking modifier. I'm not really modifying the creatures in Saskia, so that I don't even care about that. I care about the haste. So he comes into play, and as long as I have one red, bang, smash. What's this? Why is this? Ooh, yeah. Okay, so kind of going to the dark side here. This is a unstable, unglued, unhinged, unfucked, unstable. I think that's the procession. Anyway, somebody else recommended this, and they did admit that it's kind of might feel kind of dirty to have one of these uncards, but 2 white. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose creatures you control one at a time until every creature is chosen. Each of those creatures gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature chosen before it. So, if I have 10 creatures, the first one gets 0/0, nothing. Second one, 1/1, 2/2, 3/3, 4. The last one, the 10th one, will get 9/9. Yeah. And if it's something big and nasty, it'll smash. So, to be honest, I really don't know if I'm going to put this in. I don't know yet if it's just going to feel too goofy for me because it doesn't do anything else. I mean, it does have a really good effect. Let's say I have 20 creatures, which, playing tokens, not impossible. 10 is pretty likely. So I don't know if I'm going to put this in or not. Speaking of that, I watched Commander's Quarters talking about the updates that we've had about the abdication of the Rules Committee. So Wizards on Twitch, on livestream, on something they do, they talked more about their plans. And it's kind of interesting how these plans seem to have been either written really, really fast, or they've been thinking about it for a little while. I believe they've been thinking about it for a little while. And it's just a fortuitous opportunity to put those plans into effect. So they explain more about the 4 tiers. They're still calling the first tier the baseline, which is stupid. It's backwards. It needs to flipped over. 4th tier should be the bottom. It makes sense. If you go to a tournament, tier 1 is the top tier. That's the way it goes, but leave it to Wizards to fuck that up. So anyway, tier 1, as they're calling it, as it makes no sense, will be precons. Although the precons today are pretty damn good. Last time I played Cube, last Thursday, he had his new Duskmourn precon. I played Saskia. I was ramping. I wasn't getting many creatures out. In fact, none for first few turns. And he managed to do something like 20 points of damage to me by turn 6 or 8. So I was pretty much dead. And he finished me off pretty quickly after that. I mean, that initial 20 points of damage, that was just the warm-up. That deck is good. So if that's the floor, we're in trouble. But what I want to see, the top tier, tier 4, tier whatever they call it, I want to see them dump the entire ban list on it. I want to see it burn. I want to see Tolarian Academies and Fast Bond and maybe not Moxes, maybe not Black Lotus. Okay, keep those banned. Keep Time Vault banned. But throw Biorhythm on there. Throw Braids on there. Arreo, Saratami Ascendant. Throw out all that shit on there. Let people go wild in that bracket. Just let them burn themselves to the ground so we can all sit back and watch. That's what I want to see. I think that'll be funny. So anyway, it said Drannith Magistrate is a tier 3 card. Swords Plowshares, Grave Titan are tier 1. What examples of tier 2 did they give? Fabricate, I think, is a tier 2. So I'm interested. I'm quite keen on seeing how this shakes out. In a way, I'm getting excited about it because it's going to force me to change a lot of my decks. What it's going to force me to do Let's look at the next card so you don't have to stare at that Starlight Spectacular for too long. What it's going to force me to do, and the lads I play with, is decide, okay, what tier are we in general going to play at? Well, they play a lot of precons, but they're good, so they're going to say like tier 1, tier 2. So if that's the case, then I have to power my decks down or up, depending on what the case may be. And I wonder what that's going to do with a lot of my old cards. Like Survival of the Fittest, that's going to be tier 3, tier 4. I have no doubts about that. Gaia's Cradle, same thing. I'm hoping it stays at tier 3, because I don't want to deal with tier 4, the mega tier. Now it's starting to cement in my brain. I don't like that, but it's doing it. Saskia, I'm building her like a precon, so I don't imagine I'll have too many high tier cards in Saskia. The dual lands, I don't know where theirs are going to shake out, because the dual lands in and of themselves are not high power. All they do is fix your mana. That's it. They're expensive because they're the most efficient, non-harmful ways of fixing your mana. But they're not like a Gaia's Cradle, Tolarian Academy, not even like a 3-tree city in a tribal deck, right? So I don't know where those are going to shake out, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out. I'm actually getting more interested in Commander than I was before, because I want to see what happens. I want to see what they come up with. And then I'll start bitching if I don't like it. But I still don't want to buy any new cards. I don't want to buy anything after Duskmourn. I want to get off this treadmill. I want to get off the treadmill of buying new cards. I want to get off the treadmill of, wow, that new card, oh, that'll be, I want to fucking stop. And I want to get the lads I play with to stop. So we freeze our decks. We freeze our decks at a specific set. Probably Bloomborough. I'm going to try to talk them into it. The decks that they don't want to freeze, okay, fine. But most of our decks, I would like to see is freeze, so I can concentrate on, when I get new cards, getting cards from the massive backlog of wants I have. On Card Market, I have 20 pages of cards I want. Each page has a minimum of 20 some odd cards, and I would like to start clearing those out. The first 8 pages are just art, so old frame art, new frame art, Secret Lair cards of the art, just cards I want for the art. So that's the slowest one to go down, because usually I want a card for the deck. I only buy cards for the art if on rare instances, or when it's cheap. If I'm making an order from somebody on Magic Card Market and there's a card I want for the art that's 10 euro cents, yeah, I'm buying it. So anyway, Urabrask here is going into Saskia, so that's the second haste enabler she'll have. 3 red 4/4 Fraction Predator. Creatures you control have haste. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. So I've got 2 of this version now, and I've got 2 of the original version. Othare, Sun's Glory. Somebody else recommended this guy. I took Mirren out, but if I put him in here, I should put Mirren here, because then I'll get more experience counters. I'll have 2 creatures to give me experience counters rather than just 1. So maybe this will go into Saskia, and then I'll have to figure out what comes out for it, which I love doing. 3 red for a 3/3 flying lifelink hasting Phoenix. Whenever he attacks, I get an experience counter, then create a 2/2 red rebel creature token tapped and attacking for each experience counter I have. So if I have Mirren out, creatures are dying. I've got him out, I'm building up experience counters much faster. I don't think the experience counters work doubling season though. I didn't look that up, but I'm pretty sure they don't. Oh, what's this? 2 red tap and untap rebel with control. Return from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. So if he dies, he'll come back. Yeah, and I went ahead and got a another foil Frontline. It was cheap. So Saskia will have a... Yeah, it is lightly played. But it's foil. So Saskia will have a foil Frontline Medic. Anyway, that's what I got. That's today's episode of Mail Call and General Rant. Let's get a good shot for the thumbnail. Bang.